Okay, it says we are live. Just waiting to see that it confirms on, yes, it confirms on that other screen. Okay, so back again with more of this. This is, I always blank on the title of this series whenever I start an episode. No Death Skyrim Legendary Difficulty. I might want to update how I say that.
Don't get too far ahead.
Always the separation anxiety with you. Anyway, probably should come up with something a little catchier than that, but Anyway, this is mostly just a chill stream. This is mostly just a chill stream. Man, do I need a coffee or something? I'm not above taking 5-10 minutes to do a coffee break. Me too, Janessa. I'll see in 20 to 30 minutes if I have to go down and get a cup of coffee. Anyway, yeah, this is just a chill stream. Took me over a minute to say that, fumbling over my words, but chill stream. I did play this recently, maybe 2-3 days ago. But I don't know, I just really wanted to play it again. For a couple of reasons. First of all, let me just get the boring stuff out of the way as I talk.
We're one of the same. Fine. What?
Oh, wrong button.
Still have something you need. If that is what you wish.
Man, I'm fumbling over everything right now. Let's hope that doesn't translate to combat. Grab all this and plop it in some chest somewhere so that she's not carrying it around and we have more carry weight that we can deal with. Because I can't... Well, I theoretically can up the amount of stamina I have and thus increase my carry weight. The problem with that is it would get me killed. It would literally be the death of me. But anyway, one of the main reasons I was, when I was thinking about this as I was working through with some stuff, I thought to myself, I don't really think I'm going to do any sort of, how do I phrase this? Originally when I did this series, I was sort of dead set on, it would only be for rainy days and such like that. And I wanted to have it sort of sparsely there. It might be a big part of the channel, but I didn't want to do too much of it. But then I got to thinking, and actually, it wasn't even I got to thinking. Reality hit me in the face with, as it often does, especially on this channel, because, while I definitely want to keep, I want to have regular uploads for you guys. That's not a compromising, I will do that over my dead body. Even though I at this point, I'm not making any money from the channel at the moment. Just haven't met the monetization threshold. Close. All I need is one more. If you look at my analytics, it'll spike up in views, and then it'll plateau. Luckily, it's not a temporary spike. It seems to hold when I get I'll double my views. Hello, bear. I'm still paying attention, by the way. I'm not slacking off. But yeah, I will double my views, double my watch hours, and it'll plateau. But it'll plateau for a month or two. I just need to do that 1 or 2 more times. And then, I'll be set to hit the monetization threshold. I think about it, I need these. that's an aside. Anyway, I do want to keep regular with uploads as much as I can, but what I can't do is schedule something like a schedule, like, oh, I have to do one Wild Edibles episode, like at least one a month or at least two a month, plus this other series, plus Plays That Can Kill, because unfortunately nature does not work like that. And actually, before this, I was looking back at the video catalog, and like I was looking at this specific time in the year, and I remember I had, you know, a bit of a rut. This particular part of the year, early summer, the mid to end of June to the first week or two of July, is sort of a very boring time in nature, because most of the things that are going to flower, hello, most of the things that are, you know, the things that are flowering have flowered. The nice berry Wild Edibles aren't there yet. Still got like a month until raspberry and blackberry season. Close, but still. Probably shouldn't be talking about this as I'm in combat. Don't want to get too jaded on the whole careful not to die thing. But yeah, this is a bit of a rut period because the really nice Wild Edibles still have a couple weeks to go, and you're sort of already jaded at this point on, yeah, it's summer, whoop-de-doo, it's hot, when are the berries showing up, like, get on with it. And I look back at the catalog, that's nice. Yeah, look back at the catalog of what videos I made at this time of year last year, and they were all sort of like filler videos for the most part. There were a couple in there that were, and I was on vacation in Florida a little after this last year, so that made it a bit easier because, you know, it's new and interesting. But overall, I don't want to make videos. Like, I saw videos there, one or two, that, you know, I was doing update videos that were just filler. I was doing other videos that were just filler. There was one video that I unlisted a little while back because it was just preachy, ranty, stupid filler. I didn't feel like keeping it around, diluting the catalog. Huh, what is that? That's probably low. No. I hate apps that... It's one thing to give me a notification. Don't make my phone buzz, please. That dragon area, I'll have to look into that, because I know some of them are really just, you know, it's manned by skeletons before completing Dragon Rising, in which case I'll get it then, you know, sweet, easy. Let's check out Helgen. Because there should be bandits here at this point. But anyway, I don't want to just do filler videos. I'd prefer to just keep a regular upload schedule of whatever I feel like making. In this case, I really wanted to play some Skyrim. Simply saying, like, oh, I'm going to do I'm going to go out into the woods and do a wild edibles video. Well, okay, that's a bad example. There's quite a lot of edible plants, but so I probably could, but then you can have the case of like, oh, I'm just gonna do a video on garlic mustard seeds, which isn't a bad video, but it is a bit of a filler video. I'm trying to get a good angle on this. And another issue is that, you know, so especially for some of the other videos, like plants that, you know, that's the Plant That Can Kill series. And I mean, there are some. Actually, that's different. For the Plants That Can Kill series, I've wanted to do a bunch of them, and I've wanted to do a bunch for the invasive species as well. But for a lot of these, I have to wait. You know, I gotta wait for it to flower, or I have to wait for it to go to fruit. Otherwise, it just doesn't have the same identifying features. So that's why I'm playing Skyrim. Yeah, you can't accelerate or put a pause on nature. If I was truly being like, oh, I wanted to do a bunch of I wanted to get all the invasive species videos done in a season. The problem with that. Yeah, there's a severe problem with just trying to get all the invasive species videos done in a season. They all flower at roughly the same time, so if I would basically have to just do the same thing, same series, and have like 5 or 6 episodes on the same series within the span of like a couple days. A couple days is a little disingenuous. Maybe like 2 weeks, I'd say. Where all the things are at their most vulnerable and most identifiable. So instead, I find it's actually more advantageous, I've realized, to not really try to set a schedule in terms of like, oh, I want to do this many of this. I'm just going to be regular with my uploads, see what comes about, and for a lot of these I'll have to wait till next year. Because it's not like other channels where, oh, that's familiar. You know, if you have a video idea and then you don't do it one day, you can do it the next day. With any channel that deals with nature, it's a whole lot of, well, we'll try again next year. So for one thing, I guess to summarize, I've already ranted on this for quite a bit of time. But to summarize, I'm just basically going to keep to, you know, an upload schedule, but not any, you know, quotas for specific types of videos. Because it's just not possible with the channel. Once the channel gets bigger, you guys can always suggest things for me to do. Like, oh, could you do another wild edibles video soon? Like, you want to see that. Then I will do that. But in terms of, you know, setting quotas, that's not going to happen. also, I forgot to say what I wanted to do. Gotta set goals. Okay, so I want to go and actually start the Bleak Falls Barrow quest. I'm probably going to hold off on actually doing Okay, I might not hold off on doing Bleak Falls Barrow, but I'm definitely holding off on handing Farengar that Dragonstone. It's not happening. But I want to get to Farengar so I can buy some decent spells. I want to get Soul Trap so I can start with enchanting. And there's a very good reason for that. In fact, it's a reason so good that I thought of making a separate educational video on it, but I think I'll just describe it. I might still do that, but it's a bit mathy, so I don't know how well it'll be received. But essentially, with stuff like magic resist, armor, and any type of resistance that is based off a percent system, as magic resistance, armor value, all that stuff is in Skyrim. Not all percentage is equal. So 0 to 50 is pittance. It does very little per percent. 1% magic resist is the chance it saves you is minuscule, because you're still taking 99% of the damage, so you can survive barely any longer than you otherwise would. More bandits. Alright, Janessa, let's fight them again. Where'd you go? Man, I'm just running into bandits left and right. So 0 to 50, once you hit 50% of resistance in anything, the amount of time you will be able to survive in combat doubles, provided you're being hit with, that thing you need to be resisting. That's 50%. That's 50 points. Let's just say that on points. 50 percentage points. In order to turn that 2 times survivability to 3 times, you only need to go up 16 more percentage points. In order to turn that 3 to 4, 9 percentage points. By the time you get to stuff like 80%, or 85% is the cap for most things. I think there's an 85% cap on armor rating, damage mitigation from armor. There's an 85% cap on block, which those two are, not... Those two both, provided you block, those two both go into effect. There's a 85% cap on magic resist, and for each elemental, fire, frost, shock, there's the 85% cap on that as well, and those two stack. So I want to hit that 50% threshold, because once you hit that 50% threshold, it's exponential, the amount you'll be able to survive. Once you hit the 85-85 where it stacks, I think damaging abilities in that school only do like less than 3% of their normal damage, which that's, if you have 100 health and an attack does 100 damage a second, you'd be able to survive 10 seconds. Or no, hold on, I messed that up. If you have 100 health and there's an attack that does 10 damage per second, you'd be able to survive that attack for 10 seconds, assuming continuous. However, that same attack with full resistance is 33 times. It'll take 33 times as long roughly about, to kill you. So that 10 seconds turns into 330 seconds. So you can survive a full 5.5 minutes just eating that attack with only 100 health. So it's really advantageous to get above that 50% threshold, because once you do, your the actual effective resistance per percent exponentially increases. Your survivability exponentially increases. And the flip side, until you hit that 50%, your resistances aren't exactly that significant. I don't know if you guys can hear me over the sound of combat. I was actually also thinking of attacking one of the bandit strongholds in the forts, like over here, wherever that is. Might still do that, but I'm getting my fair share of bandit right now, so I don't know. Nice. Already looted those. I really should finish combat and then loot, as opposed to the other way around. But, whatever. Excuse me. Always cough into your elbow, especially... Actually, no, not even especially with COVID. Just always cough into your elbow. I don't care what the circumstances are. Here's someone mining. More bandits, maybe? Oh no, it's a guy with a dog.
I've been hunting and fishing in these parts for years.
Good boy.
All right then.
I have these visual mods for a reason. Always nice to appreciate this kind of thing. People put work into this. A lot of people spent a lot of time so the game could look at least this good. She only says that when we're near a bandit camp. I guess that might be a bandit. Does that count as cheating? I don't think so. Great, now I forget what I was talking about. Oh yeah. I mean, you know, I might rag on the fact that all the trees are obviously the same species and there's no diversity. It's kind of bland in that regard. But, you know, could be worse. A lot of people put a lot of work into this game to make it look this good. Maybe we might rag on Bethesda games for having their bugs, but this is something that people, you know, spent a lot of time making. This is their creation, and
Close enough.
can certainly appreciate it.
Now ain't this a surprise?
How's it a surprise? We were literally... once the channel gets bigger, I'll get a little more cognizant of upload schedule and all that. One, because I'll be financially tied to it, so gotta pay attention to that. I also, on that note, I don't plan on creating a Patreon or anything like that, or in fact, I would say don't, you know, if YouTube has a setting to disable like Twitch donations, well, it's not Twitch, but you know what I mean, the donation system that streamers typically have, or just to not enable it, I don't know what it is, but I would press that button because, in my opinion, like, I'm fairly well off, I'd say, and generally I would think other people would need that money more than me, so if I did do donations, it would be just for charitable work. But on the flip side, in terms of like, should I it would be nice not to monetize my channel and just give you guys all these videos for free. But one, that detracts from the time I have, which is just an unfortunate truth, because I'd have to have another job. And two, in terms of budget, we have no budget. It can be a little difficult to put time, effort, and money especially into a channel that doesn't produce money. Time is money, money is money. You know, as much as I'd like to be an idealist and say, these how do I phrase it? Like, yeah, I wouldn't rat on any other content creators because, yeah, that's basically the gist of it. Even the people, like, I get Patreon because they may need that money more than you, but you can't make videos without money. You gotta eat at the very least, and any long-term endeavor is gonna rack up some cost. If it doesn't, the quality is gonna suffer. I don't plan to buy another computer to do better streams on or anything like that, but in terms of like, oh, wouldn't it be nice to get a wood chipper for the property so I could do X, Y, and Z, or get a, that's a bad example, but like, what would be, luckily for my channel, most of the stuff can be done just by hand, and the tools necessary to do the other stuff, like a machete and an axe and other stuff like that, those tools are relatively cheap. It's not like woodworking, which is a massive money sink. I'm just getting into woodworking, by the way, but also, with regards to that, I've been getting into woodworking and gardening, because, I mean, quarantine hours. Everyone's doing something new. I already was a fan of cooking, loved to cook, so I couldn't, invest my time in that. But woodworking and gardening, that was what I started up. I had dabbled in them before, but I never really had the time, However, I wouldn't feel comfortable doing any videos on those things at the moment. With what? Probably some wolf over there. I'm just gonna mine it in my hand. I don't feel comfortable doing videos on things that I don't have at least a little bit of experience on. Because it's one thing to do a video on a wild edible that I've just learned about like that week. That's pushing it, but that's one thing because I still have the field experience. I know what to look for. I know how to describe, you know, at the very least it's field, you know, I'm in the field, I'm showing what it is, and I'm talking about it. I can give it a taste. Maybe, you know, the sources I got it from don't really, you know, trying to describe how something tastes is not easy, especially if you're doing it after the fact, writing something. Sources on wild edibles vary, but, you know, plant to plant, but they can be really poor. But I don't feel comfortable doing it like it. It's one thing because I've done foraging for so long. A new plant really isn't. You know, I'm still have a base of knowledge to compare things to. But I think it's not all that of a good idea to do videos when you're just learning something. Like trying to explain something to people when you yourself are just looking off of someone else's notes. That to me, unless you're adding something. Like in my case, a lot of times I add field experience or clarification if I'm using sources. And sometimes I may have used a source years ago, forgotten about it, but that, you know, that plant has just been a part of what I knew to be a wild edible, you know, since then. And typically I always check sources when I do a video, you know, beforehand, even if it's one of the plants that I've known since I was a child, like wild carrot.
If you're looking for a challenge, you've come to the right place.
I'm looking for a bed. Nope, wrong one.
A fine day to you. Sure thing. It's yours for it. I'll show you to your room. Right this way. Need anything else?
Don't be Lydia.
Just let me know.
Well, that's enough about... well, actually, one more thing. I don't think people should, unless they have something to add.
Let me know if there's anything else you need.
I think it's not a good idea in terms of stuff like, especially wild edibles, to just, you know, put their thing out there like this
I'm just
is,
out and about, love.
you know,
The Bandits can do without me for a bit, my sister.
stuff like woodworking. If you're just a beginner, don't try to teach. Because then you can teach other people wrong. It's really hard to unlearn things. And in the case of stuff like wild edibles, you might not have time to unlearn things, if you catch my drift. But I've ranted about the channel for like 30 minutes, which, I mean...
Heard they're reforming the dawn.
Every single time I do these streams, I think, you know what? Maybe I should add a timestamp, rant over in certain spots, but I don't. Does anyone even watch these, rewatch these? Typically, I...
Friend. The Bandit Mayor has beds for rent.
Been there, done that. Typically, I'll pick through them, and I might, like, make a highlight reel, but mostly, these stream replays are just here for verification. Like, yes, I'm not lying. I've survived this long. You know, it's 5 episodes, nothing to boast about. I'm only level 18, but still, you need the verification so people can't just be like, Oh yeah, sure. We'll probably make a highlight reel at some point. In general, the channel's just sort of, I mean, from the beginning, it's always been that sort of bathroom wall style of, you know, whatever I feel like making, I'll make and show you guys. It has a bit of a theme, but it's not like, I didn't name the channel, you know, Wild Edibles RS. That's for a reason. I actually considered naming it something along the lines of, like, nature-themed. But at that point, you've really restricted in what you can do with that channel. Here, it's just, you know, my online name, which if this channel gets any size above, you know, monetization, which hopefully it will. I mean, I try not to jinx myself, but it's going to be really hard to put that in as my online username without any, you know, ones, twos, ats, or that sort of thing around it. I will forever have to not have that anymore as my screen name. Well. First world problems. The channel just being branded as, you know, me, as opposed to something specific, then it's, you know, more forgiving as to what's posted. More fun, too, in my opinion.
So many shadowy corners to strike from. I could learn to like this place.
We're literally out in the open. The only shadows in this place are places you couldn't even fit your body. If you're referring to that place, though, possibly. Just need one of them to sit still for a second. I don't understand that. Did he see it coming or something? There we go. I think I had the height adjustment incorrect. I wasn't... Oh yeah, I have this. I forgot. I wasn't judging the range correctly. Okay, now I'm just shooting at nothing. I don't think it's a good idea to charge in there. First of all, I haven't hit each one, so I don't know if there's anything more dangerous than a bandit in there. Still getting the range wrong. Huh. Yes. That is the reason I didn't want to rush in. Still probably handle them. I am in heavy armor, but I'd rather remove a couple damage sources first. I don't want to get poked to death by arrows. And I have plenty to spare. fact, the only thing I would be worried about is time. Time spent doing this. Am I seriously messing that up? I think I need to actually... There we go. Stay there. See? 2 bandit thugs. Oh, he's gonna pick me up in a second. Yep. This is now gonna be a non-sneak archer fight. Or not archery.
Got your back, huh? So easier to roll when you're dead.
Ow! I do think I'm going to be fighting quite a lot of bandits in the coming episodes, simply because they're not too much of a threat. They're a threat that is fairly minor, fairly handleable. I'm not too concerned that I'm going to die fighting bandits, because they do a fair bit of damage, but not enough to make me worry. I probably, you know, as long as I don't run out of potions, should be fine. But they won't deal enough damage.
Go ahead. Try and fight back. Hey,
Because I'm actually not all that concerned with damage per second at this point. I'm concerned with burst damage. I'm worried about, you know, a bear is going to get a good attack on me, and then I will die, because I just don't have the mitigation.
Be wary for traps. If you spy one, try to get an enemy to trigger it.
But these guys I can level up weapon skills on fairly easily. They're still a decent challenge, and the loot's good. Still strapped for cash, so I am grabbing stuff like mead. Is there something in there? No. I'll check up there before heading in. Come on. I mean, I know it's just 2 coins, but seriously? I'm poor at the moment. Thank goodness there's no such thing as repair bills in this. Did you seriously just sit here and watch as your poor buddies got... Dude. Not cool. You deserve this. Come
Now,
on.
ain't this a surprise? I'll shatter your bones like glass.
No. I gotta be careful of his power attacks.
I'll show you a real do your worst. I cannot.
Just sitting there watching as your friends get mowed down. Come on. That is not cool. Good as entrance as any, I think. If I get any higher in sneak, I should pack a dagger.
I'll never do another span in that stinking jail. I'd rather die than give myself up.
Because once I reach... I went the exact opposite way. Once you reach 50, if you have a fully smithed, like, ebony dagger, might as well
Time to end this.
pack it for when you're going into a fight. Might be able to pick off someone. Ow! Bandit plunderer. Okay. I see where we're going. Alright, gotta finish off this thug and then direct our attention to the plunderer. That was close, though. Alright, how's Janassa going? We gotta DPS this guy down. In what world are those guys spawning already? Hold on, let me check something. I'm only level 18. If they're spawning, I'm probably at the very low end of where they can spawn. Yeah, bandit plunderers are level 19. Thanks. Maybe you can encounter them 18. Well, as long as they're not packing a, I think he got 2 hits on me. With enough time to react, I don't think it's too much of an issue. I'll have to check.
Is someone there?
Not particularly, no. Hey! Quit that. Just when I was talking about how I think bandits shouldn't be too much of an issue. There's a part of me that says, dude, you almost died there. What are you doing? Get out of there. But then there's another part that says, what are the chances there's 2 plunderers? Personally, I'd say reasonably high, but... Let's be careful and try not to pull too many more. Confidence is fine. Stupidity and overconfidence, less so.
Don't get too far ahead.
I don't want to be in any situation where I have to deal with 2 plunderers or something. I think after this I'm definitely heading over to Farengar so that I can
What the?
get some more spells, like Healing Hands, so that I can heal Janassa. Highwayman, that's 1 below Plunderer. I should be able to handle that. Man, we leveled up to a pretty high level pretty quickly. Poor guy. No lockpicking, unless I need to. We're already too high in level. In fact, I'll talk about this after I kill this guy.
What was that? What was that? Thought I heard something.
Please use frost spells. Yeah, frost spells are good. Let's just shoot him. Come to us. Also, frost spells are objectively the easiest to dodge. Bit unrealistic here. I need to get my archery up, though. Considerably. 'Cause if I'm not doing that much damage, you know, I'd prefer to be able to just sneak archer a bunch. What? You just hiss at me? All right then. Good guy though. He's shielding his more damaged. Also, Janassa, you're being a real help right now. Where are you? Shielding his more damaged friend from the arrows. What a lad. Not like the one guy we met upstairs. Yeah, I definitely need more archery skill so that I can handle, because I'm not really doing that well as a sneak archer at all, which is my preferred method of combat for staying alive, especially in high-risk situations. Come on. Definitely want to be able to what? Guess I'll sell that. How high level am I? Jesus. This is a problem. This is a big problem. Could be worse, but this is a problem. I need that perk.
I can see the battle lust in your eyes. Doom will surely come to any who cross your path.
I just want money for my house. I'm actually thinking it's not worth it. I'm going to encounter a bandit chief and probably a plunderer as well once I reach the center tower or whatever. So yeah, no thanks. I choose life. I need to do some more training with mud crabs. That's what I need. Especially heavy armor, because I'm not going to have ebony armor until a while. I need to get my smithing skill up. So I want to be... Okay, so I should say armor cap is somewhere around 500, so I'm pretty close with the shield. But some NPCs have perks that reduce armor. Typically the humanoid ones with the maces. So, and I think some of them reduce it by 75% if you're really unlucky to encounter one that's, you know, spec'd into that. So you definitely want to have over that armor cap, which is not difficult to do late game, which is when you'll typically encounter those types of NPCs. So it's not that big of a deal, but it's not some sort of like race to get the armor cap. I think it's like 567.
We're one of the same kind, you and I. I'm glad, as you wish.
You're not trying to reach that cap and then, you know, that's your armor. You don't need to improve it anymore. You don't need to do, you know, upgrades. You still need to do those things. All right. Let's level up this heavy armor skill, shall we? One at a time. Gotta be careful with resto, but I don't exactly have too much of a choice as to Gotta heal myself somehow. Level block 2. Because I also want to get, I'll explain that now. This perk is really important now, because as I was saying before, it gets the magic resistances up to that 50% threshold, at which point further percentage points are massively effective. After I get a full set of enchanted armor that it has like resistances on it, then it's useless, at which point I'll probably turn the skill legendary, because block's not a difficult skill to power level. Still need quite a bit to go in heavy armor. And unfortunately, it's not going to train itself. Whew. Okay. I'll do the same thing to these mud crabs I did the last one. Training this early in the game is actually kind of difficult because you don't have the perk where restoration spells will also increase, it'll heal back your stamina as well. I do have to be careful that there's no wandering saber cat that hops on me at a bad time. That'd be a way to die. So here's the thing. I'm not too worried about... Okay, so once I hit level 25 around, that's the max level of bandits pretty much. At that point, theoretically, I could just fight bandits to my heart's content and level up that way. And then once I'm very high level, Because bandits, once you have your resistances, put it this way. Once you've reached a point where there's a specific class of enemy you can fight, and it won't give you too much trouble, and the only place you can go is up as far as level is concerned, like, you're only going to out-level them more and more, then it's viable to say, you know what, I'm just going to power level and try to get as high level as I can in certain skills. Mostly to power level health, train restoration, train heavy armor. 'Cause once those are at 100, then you can start thinking about basically, okay, well, at this point, I should probably level alchemy. At this point, I should probably level smithing. Should level enchanting. Because actually, the early game, provided you're not an idiot, and you aren't unlucky, you don't get hit by a saber cat attack before you get your companion. Those sorts of things. Provided you hit the "oh thank goodness I didn't die in the early game" check, the mid game is the hardest. Because things level with you. And unless you're being incredibly careful as to what skills you level up, you're going to die. But on the reverse, once you hit a certain amount of health points, there's nothing that can kill you. Your health.
And what might... Fine.
No.
What?
Oops.
Still have something you need? Your call. Yes. I am the shadow at your back.
Like, once you're facing the highest level stuff, you know, aside from bosses and stuff like that, what are they gonna do? I mean, yeah, they'll do 300 damage a hit with hold on. Okay, so they'll do, I think the highest damage attack is roughly around 300. I think that's the legendary dragon's bite. I think their fire breath and frost breath will do roughly about something similar to that. It's like 100 damage per second. Here's the thing. If you factor legendary difficulty in, so times 3, 900, yeah. So that's a problem. But if you have, you know, your 85%, say you don't block a bite attack. So 15% of 900 times 0.15. So that's 135. If this character, who has at the moment 280 health, got hit, and I had full armor, and yeah, if I had full armor, I didn't even block the attack, it would only do half my health. Now that's with full armor. Keep in mind, you know, you might look at it and be like, well, your armor rating's 263. You're already halfway there. Why are you getting beaten up? by, you know, bandits when if you had the highest armor rating, legendary dragons wouldn't be too much of a difficulty for you. That's the thing. As I talked about, I'm right at that 50% threshold. I really, really, really want to get more armor points so that I can get past that 50% threshold fully and get into more and more and more towards the armor cap. Because then I will be ready. And back to the point I was talking about, you know, if you have full armor and you're level 90 and you have like 700 HP, well, it's going to take a lot to kill you no matter which way you slice it. As long as you're not running around without any armor on, it's going to be really hard to kill you. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked a bit. What I need to do now is sleep at the inn and then talk to Farengar and get some good spells, mostly healing hands. Maybe I should think about alchemy now, but I'm not sure about that. Part of me says, given what I just experienced fighting Bandit Plunderer, I need to lay low again and work on smithing and alchemy and enchanting and all that sort of stuff. But the other part says, yeah, it has a good chance of getting you killed. Because unfortunately,
Come on in. Let me know if you need anything.
I still have
take a
the
seat by the
bed
fire
from
and
last
I'll
time.
send someone over.
You know, I'm torn between whether over-leveling is going to be the best strategy or still trying to under-level. I'm not sure under-leveling is still an option.
Staying safe, I hope.
Hopefully, staying safe.
I've got a lot of respect for the Restoration School. Skyrim could use a lot more healers.
Don't get too
I'm just
far
trying
ahead.
not to die. I guess I'll start with the alchemy.
Orcish armor, huh? Had me a set of that once.
Is that racist?
Favor the bow, eh? I'm a swordman myself.
I am literally... Okay.
Well, there's
Hey, watch
no
this.
telling what it means. My lord, what would you have me do then?
You have to listen.
Nothing? My lord, please. This is no time for rash action. I just think we need more information before we act.
Well, I trust you have something vitally important to tell me.
Get juked.
Important enough to interrupt me in the middle of council? You were at Helgen when it was attacked? You saw this with your own eyes?
A while back, but sure, yeah.
I should have guessed Ulfric would be mixed up in this. What do you say now, Proventus? Shall we
Juked.
continue to trust in the strength of our walls against the dragon?
My lord, we should send troops to Riverwood at once. It's in the most immediate danger. If that dragon is lurking in the mountains,
The Jarl of Falkreath will view that as a provocation. He'll assume we're preparing to join Ulfric's side and attack him. We
We should
Enough!
not.
I'll not stand idly by while the dragon burns my hold and slaughters my people. Irileth, send a detachment
Cracking my
to
knuckles
Riverwood
if that
at once.
bothers anyone, sorry.
Yes, my Jarl.
If you'll excuse me, I'll return to my duties.
That would be best. Well done. You sought me out on your own initiative. You've done Whiterun a service, and I won't forget it. Here, take this as a small token of my esteem. There is another thing. Come, let's go find Farengar, my court wizard. He's been looking into a matter related to these dragons and rumors of dragons.
Great,
We're
now
one
I
and the
weigh
same,
1,000 pounds.
If that is what you wish.
Should have remembered that was going to happen.
Lead on then.
Come to Dragon's... What? Project? You think you could help me? I really don't think so. What? I never even cast it. Ah, I see. You have some knowledge of the higher art.
Just try and not
Please
die
forgive
over here.
my earlier rudeness. I'm so often interrupted by visitors wandering in. I can occasionally become quite savage. Now, what did you say you wanted? Ah, indeed? The Jarl. Oh yes, he must be referring to my research into the dragons. Yes, I could use someone to fetch something for me. Well, when I say fetch, I really mean delve into a dangerous ruin in search of an ancient stone tablet that may or may not actually be there. Straight to the point, eh? No need for tedious hows and whys. I like that. Leave those details to your betters, am I right? I, learned of a certain stone tablet said to be housed in Bleak Falls Barrow. A dragon stone, said to contain a map of dragon burial sites. Go to Bleak Falls Barrow, find this tablet, no doubt interred in the main chamber, and bring it to me. Simplicity itself.
Later.
You know, if you've got the aptitude, you should join the Mages College in Winterhold.
I'm sure you two will get on famously. This is a priority now. Anything we can use to fight this dragon, or dragons, we need it quickly, before it's too late.
I'm
Of
just
course,
here
Jarl
for
Balgruuf.
shopping.
Oh, I thought you were already on your way to Bleak Falls Barrow.
You thought wrong.
So, you wish to master the arcane art?
You're going to be using that voice line for a long time. Okay. Do I dare? I think that's a really bad idea, but do I dare? I think I'll leave that for after I've already gotten to armor cap. Or, well, I'll have to see. I think a part of why I came in contact with those high-level bandits was also because I was doing so in an enclosed space. I think if I skulk around like Embershard and did what I did in the beginning, where it was just fighting random bandits out in the wilderness, I think I should be fine. And when I went to fight the guys on the outside, it wasn't anything like that. If it was, I could run away. I think I just need to stick to that. So I will still try to underlevel. I need Soul Trap. I most certainly need... Or the question is, should I get Soul Trap on my weapon? I don't think I think I'll still get it, especially if we can afford it. Speaking of which, let's see what I can afford. A lot. Okay, I'll get it. Oops.
I had you figured for a mage. I think you'll appreciate.
Because that way I can buy the cheap ones. that are still expensive at this point, but nothing to the tune of having to buy full ones. Soul gems, of course. I often find I don't always speak clearly when playing games like this. So I need the fast healing. I need healing hands. And I need soul trap. I'm not even going to buy muffle. I don't need to be tempted in that regard. Nothing else? I don't think so. Stone flesh. Problem is, it only lasts 60 seconds, and it's going to be sucking up a lot of my magicka. So I don't think it's viable. Unless I can get it in like the form of a scroll. But unfortunately, no. And sell that many, and then I'll make more.
I'm sure he will prove most useful.
Succeed at this, and you'll be rewarded. Whiterun will be in your debt.
Let's see resist shock. Hold on. Let's check something out. Orcish armor. Can't put resist shock on it. Oops. Boots. Can. I don't need the resist frost. Shock and soul gem. It's not there yet. %'s not going to do anything is the issue. I need more soul gems before it's going to make a difference. You sell that glass bow and that steel armor.
I saw something near Shimmer Mist Cave to
It
the
took me weeks
northeast.
to find that thieves' den.
Kind of creature,
I can't stop now.
small and
And
wicked.
I can't get the sword on my
Never
own.
seen its like before.
So you're willing to starve your wife and daughter to reclaim some rusty old sword?
I just need to hire one, maybe two good men. You won't starve.
I'll put it plainly. You can claim your sword, or you can keep your wife. If you set foot outside that gate, I won't be here when you return.
Sapphire.
Oof.
Wait,
Nah, I can fix that problem.
mercenary work? My Sapphire doesn't like that I've been spending so much time looking for my father's old sword. He fed his entire family with the gold he made using that weapon. I'm not about to let it gather dust in some thief's trophy room. I tracked it to a group of bandits nearby, but I'm no fool. I'd need the Whiterun guards or maybe hire the companions to get it. I don't know why I'm saying this, but if you find it out in your travels, I'd be grateful to you.
Redrun's Retreat.
If you find that sword, please bring it to me.
Doable. Possibly.
house call. We'll leave immediately.
It's just us against the dragon. Is that it?
I can't afford to send anyone else. And we don't know
Got
where
some good
the dragon is.
looking to protect yourself or deal some damage. Don't forget to check inside the shop if you need anything.
If that is what you wish. Let's go.
I'm very worried, actually.
I don't claim to be the best blacksmith in Whiterun. Yorland Greymane. Man,
I wouldn't exactly say I'm confident
all I ask
that
is
I
a
will
fair
survive
choice.
very much long after this.
Have you met my father? Blades, helmets, pretty much anything to suit your needs. Until next time.
But who knows?
Everything all right?
Gotta stay optimistic at the very least. I made it this far, so. Now the question is, what do I want to do now? Honestly, not really sure. Yeah, I'm a bit at a loss for what to do now. I think I need to find... I think I just need to train heavy armor more. Because I don't have the materials. Like, where am I going to find that many ebony ingots to make a full set of ebony armor, even if I do get the extra 21 skill ups I need to make the armor? I'm going to see if the bandits have respawned. I don't think they would, but I don't know. I don't think that much time has actually passed in-game, considering I haven't been fast traveling at all. Or waiting or anything like that. I have been sleeping in beds, but only in beds. Yeah, no, that's not closed there. What's going on with all that? Some necromancer of some sort? Oh. Hi. Come on, level up my heavy armor, yo. let's see what's going on with them. Bandit outlaw, bandit thug, conjurer, nondescript. I like that guy's hair, though. Now you're teaming. Ooh, he was about to heal. Oh, no, you don't. Well, that was interesting, to say the least. Can always count on random encounters. I also think it might be a good idea for me to head over to a mill to get more sawn logs for my house. It's going to cost me an arm and a leg, though. So maybe later. Did I not get any heavy armor skill from that? I might have got some. At any rate, it needs to be a lot higher than it is. I hate it when two music tracks play. Oh well. Part of the reason I didn't want to... Also, I didn't want to have the music playing in the background, because it is quite nice, but... One of the reasons I think I disabled it in the first place when I was doing the test runs is that it wasn't exactly an uncommon occurrence that combat music would just play and play and play over and over again. And it wouldn't stop. Definitely got to lead targets a little more. Already, okay. Just gotta keep putting it in health. That should help with sneak archering. Ideally, I actually don't want to go into melee range unless I have to. I'd prefer to stay back and fight at a distance. Only really going into melee when I am forced to. Even if that is, in fact, what deals the most damage per second, that sort of thing. Because the DPS, bows can have quite a bit of burst damage, but their DPS is quite poor. You have to draw the bow. And that goes both ways. So, unless someone can instantly one-shot me with a bow, chances are I shouldn't be in too much of a trouble. But as we've seen...
I've been looking for you. Got something I'm supposed to deliver.
Museum opening in Dawnstar?
Let's see here. There's a new museum opening up in Dawnstar.
Yeah.
The owner is asking me to hand out invitations to travelers. Looks like that's it. Got to go.
I'm not gonna get involved in any Daedric shenanigans. Another wolf? Man, wolves aplenty here. I'm still surprised. Although I shouldn't be, because, okay. In the beginning of this episode, when I got hit by the Plunderer twice, the first time he hit me, I was just, okay, what's going on? At that point, I was only at half health. And I think I got hit another time by him, maybe by someone else as well. And that's what brought it down pretty low. So, as long as I have the reaction time, because I think I went to move out of the way and hit I at half health. Given reaction time, that translated to very low health. Actually, I don't think it was even very low, but another hit would have killed me. I guess I should just be glad he didn't have a better weapon. I should be soul trapping stuff. How much does fast healing do? Yeah, I can't do it both. I can do at most one. And that heals me how many points? 75. So I might... soul trap fairly easily. I'm sure he can handle that. No thanks. I choose life. I have to check how much a giant's attacks actually do. Because unfortunately, I don't have the liberty this playthrough of doing what I normally do, which is early game, you can't kill a giant. Mid game, you try, you die. Later mid game, you try, you die. Even later, you get what I'm saying, and then you succeed. But I can't trial and error it this playthrough, so... Sorry. Hey, shoot this goat for me. Shoot the goat. It's a deer, dude. Calm down. What? That's mages. Let's not do that. Let's see here. Are there going to be mud crabs in this river? Yes, there are. Shanasa,
Yes,
patiently
sir.
wait here.
As you wish.
More training. Is she T-posing on me? Okay. Interesting. I gotta pull one, not two. I love how I'm still concerned about pulling crabs. You know, gotta be careful. I can't go for two at a time. That's crazy. Come on. There we go. Beat me up. Question is, how much do I want to level block? Because I do use it in combat a lot, but it doesn't help me in cases where I get jumped, like I did with that plunderer. Or with the saber cat. So, okay. Also, yeah, apologies if you hear anything in the background. Hold on. And probably, do I have a potion of... Nah, I don't have potion of regenerate magicka. Maybe I should start doing some alchemy. Maybe I should be less concerned about under-leveling and more concerned about... less concerned about over-leveling and more concerned about under-leveling. But we'll have to see with that. Is that a bear? Lions and tigers and bears, oh my. Unfortunately, I do really need to do some training before I really consider anything. Once heavy armor's up to at least something like 50, I should be fairly well equipped to not be worried about over leveling, because at that point I should be pretty close to the armor cap. like, what's my armor at now? I realize this is slightly boring. Slightly might be an understatement, but you know what I mean. It's necessary, unfortunately. Unfortunately, with such a low pool of magicka, I can't do it for very long. Until I get, like, restoration up. Finish this one off. Okay, that's a little. You still have to be careful. I also probably will be, when I get around to doing alchemy, I'm probably going to look through a table of... I'll probably still just be mixing potions by hand, just like ramming them together, but I still remember a lot of the good recipes. So, what can you do? Yeah, I will probably be going through a table of like, okay, resist, especially for rare ingredients. Just checking, like, okay, what's its effects? How can I use it effectively in potions? Because I'm not manually trying to figure out what a Daedra heart. You know. Well, these were the guys that I was leveling with before. Perfect. These guys were great. Manually checking to see what, like, a Daedra heart the effects are is expensive. You guys gonna fight me or something? Come on. See, these guys are barely doing any damage now. Careful not to drown, though. Alright, that's enough for now. Massa, no. Fine, we'll kill the slugfish. Oh, these are the guys that helped me. Unfortunately, I can't stop her. So. Unfortunately, now I just got to use them as of skill training. Hooray! Fight some stuff and soul trap some stuff. Get over here. Oh wait, she went back, didn't she? Yeah, she's right here now. She still waits. That's the thing. Gotta be careful. I do want to have some left for restoration, ideally. Yeah, it's not happening. Oops. Maybe we could do this one. This is a very, very easy because of the distance. There's a bandit camp over here. You can snipe from a far distance. Fortunately, like, this is one of the times where you're limited by render distance. It's so far. We'll do some more soul trapping. Though the conjuration increases a little concerning, but if I'm gonna increase conjuration, maybe I should later on think about putting some points in. I wouldn't say points, but thinking about using Atronachs. Let's get petty souls, right? Yep. Still not enough. It's very quickly becoming the sort of messy. I still have to go over and tell Janessa to follow. I keep forgetting about that. Have to try to reach that armor cap, though. That's definitely going to be the main goal
Yes,
for the
so
next...
I am the shadow at your back.
2 or 3. I don't know if I'm going to be able to reach the armor cap between, in 2 or 3 episodes, but I'm certainly going to try. That's the main goal. I'll set that as the objective, 2 to 3, but I don't know. No, I'm not saying hit heavy armor 100. That's not going to happen. And that's like several episodes down the line, if I even make it that far. I definitely have to look up, intermission time. I'm going to look up, go to the bathroom, get a drink of water, because it's been 2 hours roughly. Everyone needs an intermission. So I'm going to look up, while I stretch out especially, what the actual armor cap is, so I can give that information to you guys. And also what skills required to give an extra, because I think my armor is currently flawless. I think I might be able to get like epic, and then that'll be, but I'm not sure when that happens. Because even if I can't get ebony armor, an increase in quality on the armor at those levels is exponentially good. Actually, increased intermission. Oop, hit the mic stand. Increased intermission because I'm going to go downstairs and get some, at least a coffee or something, because I'm at severe danger of falling asleep, but I don't want to end just yet. So intermission time. I usually do this in 2 hours anyway. we're back. Long intermission this time. Need to go get a coffee, need to run to the bathroom. Also, no milk. Someone drank all the milk in the house, and now I had to put creamer in my coffee. Well, not creamer, cream. This is relevant to none of you, but I've already ranted about other irrelevant things before, so why not this little time? Okay. That's them right there. Let's actually find some cover. I think Dwarven Bow doesn't have very good arrow velocity. Not terrible, but not great. My aim is also probably pretty off. There we go. That's one. What? Okay. I never understood that. Why is that a thing? Like, I get it's one thing. If the arrow's coming towards you, they see it, they dodge. They dodge superhumanly fast, mind you, but I can understand them dodging. But when they're running away, they can't see it. Not particularly. Oops. Half health. Gotta heal. Them's the rules. Yeah, she's doing quite a bit of mace. Resisting armor. That's why. I bet she has a mace perk. She was doing a lot of damage there. Good thing I made so many iron arrows early game. That was honestly not a half bad idea. Especially for, well, more smithing experience obviously, but paid off in more ways than one. Rush it. I have to draw the bow fully, otherwise the arrow velocity suffers a lot. Oh, come on. One way to get your skill ups. I'd prefer to get it, you know, through archery than conjuration. Put it that way. At least archery is useful as a skill. I can feasibly use archery in a more productive way. Especially in terms of sneak attacks. I was expecting there to be a lot of arrows around here. Left over when I was range finding. Oh, okay. Okay. Understood. Okay, let's go. Always with the maces now. They do quite a bit of damage with those. Try this. There's that gem of a line. The good news is because her health's actually quite low, it does a lot for her, actually. I don't think she's actually affected by... I'll grab it for the money. That was also very close, but I think I still am at the threshold I was talking about, where I can still survive long enough to don't be a Lydia. I can still survive long enough where I'll at least be able to press I. Can you go over here, please, Janessa? Thank you. Although now, I at least need to make a pit stop. Over at a,
I thought about becoming
I need to get another, yeah, I just remembered I need to get the other woodcutter's axe so I can disenchant the one to get. I don't really want the enchantment, but completion, you know. Oops, why did I grab those? Ah yes, consume 2 sacks of raw flour. Also, I might want to look into what kinds of arrows I have on me. I have some steel arrows. Maybe I should use those more often. Oh, and I looked it up. Epic is achieved at 74, so that's also a goal, trying to get up to smithing level 74 so I can add another layer of improvement on my armor and weapons. What's Circlet of Minor Magicka? How much? 20. It's not that great. But good enough to sell, that's for sure. Binding. Interesting. I think I'm going to head back to Whiterun. And I don't know what I'm going to do after that. Could end the video. Oh, stream black. But I don't know about that. Hello, Angel JJ. Thank you for the YouTube emoji. I assume that's a YouTube emoji. I don't know how this works. Always remember that I am not a streamer playing a survival style video game. I am a person who likes video games and very much likes survival, and I would think is more adept at it than the average person. I would hope, otherwise, like, you know, what am I doing with my life? And the whole streaming thing is not my forte. Miracle, it works as good as it does. Sorry if my slurping of coffee is disgusting sounding. Not much I can do about that. What's my heavy... Oops. Didn't mean to open that. What's my heavy armor skill at? 38, so... Getting up to 70 would be really nice, but I don't know if I can do that very quickly. Also, the question is, how many... I don't know where I was going with that. I do have to be concerned about like over leveling here, because the problem is I don't know what level that thing is. I also don't want to fill any lesser soul gems or anything like that with petty souls. Generally unadvisable. Be interesting to see how many wolf pelts I'll need to collect to increase smithing skill. I think most of it will be done with jewelry, though. Oh, and my house. How could I forget about that? I need to make vampires. Vanessa, we're going over here. You love a good sneak skill. Let's head quietly towards Whiterun. I've noticed... Okay, so apparently I was incorrect. I was under the assumption... Hello. I was under the assumption, incorrect as it seems, that bit intense. Vampire attacks wouldn't start until I completed Dragon Rising. That's not true. So where's Janassa when you need her? There. Always there to save the day. Oops.
We're one of the same.
Great.
If that is what you wish.
Yeah, vampire attacks will happen as long as you're a certain level. But what I think is really stopping them from occurring as frequently is that I'm not fast traveling anywhere. And especially, I tend to go to sleep at night, which is when they typically happen. That poor Mike. are those vampires? Probably. Guess that's a death hound? Or no? Question mark? Yeah, those are vampires for sure. Let's hold at a safe distance. Fortunately, I can't fire with them in there. Either the Whiterun guards are gonna win, in which case I'll loot the bodies. That other guy's just sitting there jaded completely. Do we go in, Janassa? Alright. How's that invisibility working out for you? Honestly, that display, you do that. Also, vampire armor sells for quite a lot.
Neat, if that is what you wish.
Okay. That kill's going in a highlight reel. Would I want to get her again?
Lead on.
Nice invisibility. Weird that they just had a wolf with them. Usually it's a death hound. At the very least, if I die now, at least there's been some interesting stuff. Like, man's had more than his fair share of combat. He's fought... In 20 days, he's gone up 20 levels. He only slept for 126 hours. I highly doubt that's 8 hours of sleep per day, so he's sleep deprived. And also... It's gonna be combat. Man, this guy's taking down literally 6 people a day on average. And that's just people. Boy needs to spend some really nice quality time at Lakeview Manor. Very least there's definitely some highlights in there, some near-death experiences. Cool stuff. I was surprised the amount of damage I did to that vampire fledgling. that was with the bow, no less. So, how much damage does the bow do? At 36, that's nothing to laugh about.
Bit late to be wandering around, isn't it?
Very. Okay.
Need, if that is what you wish.
Grab all these.
Let's go.
Let's up that smithing skill. Yeah, about upping that smithing skill. Oh, is that a level up? Oh, okay. 300. We've hit the 300 mark on HP. I am in heavy armor, so noise from armor is probably a good thing. I mean, you know, something I want to mitigate. Hood and black mage robes. Fortunately, it's what I gotta do. I might actually be limited by the gemstones that I have when it comes to actually improving smithing skill. I might need to turn some things into gold ingots and then subsequently gold rings. Not ideal, but it is what it is. Also, while I'm here, I need to make some more stuff with the... Okay, so I need 11 more silver ingots, and then I'll be out of gemstones to make those out of. I also need 7, if I recall, iron ingots Lakeview Manor and the smelter there. Once I have the smelter there, then I can, deal with other stuff. Right there. So let's do the 11. Then we'll see what comes of the smithing skill. I think we ought to be pretty close to... Yeah, I think it was at 60. How much is it going up per... I think it's not going up that much per smith, though. Maybe I do need to find a dwarven ruin that's mostly just filled with bandits. Ideally, after I've already, hit the bandit cap and can handle my opponents. All of this is all just hinging on the fact that I need a very high heavy armor skill. Count 22. So that's 6 right now. I'm really not going to count them out, but we'll do a few at a time. Like I'll do 10 and then 12. So this is 6, 7. And actually, you know what? I was about to say I was about to say I will lock it out with just smelting the rest of the iron into ingots so that I can use it for the homestead. But problem with that is that if I make a gold ore, well, then it's not the end of the world, but still, if I mess up, there's no room for error there. And if you've been watching this stream for long enough, you know I always need to leave room for error. Speak of the devil. I'll do a gold ingot now. I wonder. I have an idea, but I don't know if it's a good idea. I'm thinking maybe what I should do is level up alchemy to the point where I can get a fortified smithing potion. And that'll bring me up to something even like legendary. At this point, it's good enough. Certainly possible. Maybe I should get into alchemy now. It's a consideration, certainly. Things really aren't all that clear in terms of what I should do, because it's not the same as like, oh, just survive as you normally would in real life. Typically don't have to deal with enemies leveling to match your level in real life. Generally not something that happens. I need to do this 2 more times and then it will be good. I think it's more likely I will probably find a draught of, you know, smithing beforehand. Seems far more likely to me.
That for?
I hit my head on a steel thing. Just leave me alone. A 5:26. At this point, this is an all-nighter. Might as well just enjoy the sights. Everyone will be out for 6 a.m. to go to their shops and stuff. And well, 6 a.m. Shouldn't be too long. Maybe I can pick some ingredients. Honestly, now that I think about it, a potion of resist magic might actually be incredibly useful. Even if it's just resist magic like 25%. That puts me up to 65. So that would be really good. I just have to look into how I could acquire such a potion. I'd probably be better off stocking up on resist fire, resist shock, but yeah. Wait, am I invisible? Sweet. Just for like a couple seconds, though. Hey, it's about as much invisibility as that one vampire I got it from got. Hey. Oh, one flower too many. Shops aren't open yet, unfortunately.
Finest cuts, fresh from the wilds.
Let me see if I can sell. I think I'm being weighed down by quite a bit of wine, mead, and all other manner of things that I have just because they sell well.
All I can think about is my son, my foal. They say that he was killed, but I know better. I know my
Finest
son
cuts,
is alive.
fresh. Some may call this junk. Me, I call them treasures.
They know it too, and yet they lie to my very face.
Save the black briar mead. That's the good stuff. So. Yeah, I was being weighed down by that stuff a lot. My goodness.
Good hunting.
All right. Well, I'm about to be an idiot. Let's go. Let's do some alchemy.
You're not supposed to be in here.
The door was open.
I'm not going to warn you again. Get out.
The door was open. Ah. Sorry. Did that count as a trespass? I'm actually legitimately curious. Yep. Oh well. Not against the rules to enter and then be told you can't be in there. Wow, okay.
Shiny trinkets for your good lady, all crafted by the great Aeorlan.
Treat yourself and your kin to a choice cut of steak or a tender rack of ribs.
Maybe that's a sign that I shouldn't do the alchemy stuff right now. I'll head over to Lakeview Manor. Actually, I should sell stuff first, the heavy stuff at least. So I can put on my real boots instead of the heavy
Got some
weightlifting
good
ones.
looking to protect yourself or deal some damage.
It might be useful to at least disenchant that. Or maybe keep it, you know? Because I could use that. I don't necessarily want to run around chanting stuff. Or leveling conjuration using Soul Trap. I'll have to think about that. Let's see what they do, what this is selling. Because you never know, it might be some actually decent.
Don't forget to check inside the shop if you need anything.
Might want to put a fire enchantment on my sword. Simply because, I mean, one, it's going to be a little soul gem hungry, unfortunately, but thing is that a lot of things get countered by fire, simply because they have like natural regen that the fire stops. I still got to put on the actual. There we go. What's the armor rating looking like? Oh, with shield, it is 315. I never looked up what the max armor rating was. Where is my phone anyway? Up there. Misplacing stuff all the time. Man, it's getting late. I think I'll go a little bit longer. Not too big a deal. People are watching the stream, so I mean, obviously not that late. Although I'm not sure if that's a justifiable metric. Anyway. Yeah, 567. Okay. It's the Okay, so I just need to hit 567. And then I'm good. I don't care how I hit it. And once I hit it, I'm going to keep going higher to try and, you know, some NPCs have maces. As is obvious at this point. Like this guy.
Are you finished ogling the grotesque? I suppose I should be grateful you didn't simply attack me.
Considering how often people attack me, dude, relatable. Oh yeah, that's a thing now. Might as well get some heavy armor skill out of this one. Is gymnastic anyway. Probably close by is trying to figure out how to get up here. I don't think I got a single heavy armor skill up from that. Oh well. Can't win them all. I'm sure it brought me closer to the next level. Yeah, much closer. But I do need to do a lot of training. Oh, Wind Gaiju's playing. Such a good song. Can I buy lumber from this mill? Go buy 1,000 gold.
Here for work? Doing some building, eh? I'll have them hauled over right away. Doing some building, eh?
Goodbye, my hard-earned money.
Doing some building, eh? I'll have them hauled over right away. Doing some building, eh? I'll have them hauled over right away. Doing some
I
building,
am indeed
eh?
doing some building.
I'll have them hauled over right away.
Well, wasn't that repetitive? I'm surprised I haven't contracted something like a disease yet. Right? Yeah. I've been fighting skeevers and wolves non-stop. Let's go. Wait, hold on. Shh. Janessa, I need you to wait over here. If I need you, I'll come running. Ember
And
shard might
what
be
might
clear,
you
actually.
need? As you wish.
Yeah, come to think of it, Ember shard might be clear. That's what I like to see. Three might be a bit much, though. Speak of the devil. I'm surprised I haven't contracted any diseases yet. Rockjoy, are you sure about that? What does Rockjoy even do? I think that's the one that, yeah, reduce weapon skills. Definitely need to visit a shrine of some sort. Let's see, can I get up to heavy armor 40, please? So block it also. These wolves are good boys, good training partners. Love how you don't even have to be facing the enemy. When it does a power attack, it will slow time. Which is a good indicator that that's very useful actually. Because if some bandit plunder is sneaking up behind me with a warhammer, ready to do a big old power attack, And I'm at 75% HP. I might be in for more than I bargained for. Come on, at least 40 heavy armor. You guys can do this, right? There we go. Alright, we're ready.
Need some. I am the shadow at your back.
I don't think there's a shrine of any sort in Riverwood. So unfortunately I can't go there to cure rock joint. I don't have a potion to cure disease, do I? In fact, if I did, I'd say don't use it, because that's sort of the thing you might need in a combat situation where you contract, I don't know, is it sanguine vampiris? Or whatever. You guys know. You know, now that I think about it, I definitely have to be careful with the homestead. Luckily, I'm not fast traveling to it, so I don't think... I think random encounters for stuff like a giant attack at the homestead, I don't know if they're going to be less frequent comparatively, or...
You're looking a little rough around the edges. You feeling all right?
No. Also potentially a lot easier to spot at a distance. I do want to test how much damage do I do to, let's say, a deer. Still not enough. Now I feel bad. It's one thing if you do it in, you know, cleanly in one shot. I hate to shoot things more than once. Yeah, I'll finish her off. What's the armor at now? 264 plus 318. Getting there. Taking its time, but we're getting there. I think there's a conjurer right there, yeah. Or a necromancer or something, so you gotta be careful about that. Fittings and iron ingots. That I can do. I gotta do. So 2 iron fittings, a lock, hinge, more nails. Yeah, I need more quarried stone. All right. I had to be careful to pay attention because there's always the opportunity for, hey, about that giant attack. It was only delayed. At which point, I have to bail. Right, I think that's enough for the floors. And I need more iron. Ooh, sapphire. That'll be nice. Use that to make some gold jewelry. In fact, let me go in here and gotta wait to model that into entryway or whatever. Anyway, grab some of this. See what we can make of the rest of this. I had a feeling in my gut that something was wrong. I think if Janassa can handle the incoming. Janassa. I need you to die for your country.
Yes. Fine. What? Will do. That is.
Hey, Janassa.
We're one of the same. Fine. What? Will do.
Get him! Bears definitely have a worse day. You know what? I'm gonna do healing hands. I don't like the way he's looking at me. Whew. I knew there was something wrong. There was a gut feeling, and something was wrong. I just felt it, like. I knew there was going to be something happening up here. There's gotta be another iron deposit somewhere nearby. Here's the Corundamore vein. Janassa isn't carrying any, is she? I feel like that would also be something I might overlook.
Yes, Sarah? If that is what you wish.
She has some corundum, but that's about it.
Let's go.
Actually, she has nothing in her inventory, so... Except, you know, equipment. Nothing else up top here? Nothing else of interest? Come on, I just need one more iron ore. Then at least this stream, which is going well over time at this point, at least I will have put in a new addition on the house. Gotta be careful though, this isn't exactly open land. Large potential to get jumped. Oh, come on. Hunter? Hello. Still have rock joint. I need to fix that.
I'm staying out of this.
Good. No. Sorry. think that probably counts as an assault, but eh. It literally said thief. So what do you want? Ooh, that's expensive. What is that? I'll sell those. Maybe I can afford some more lumber for the house. Maybe. Highly unlikely, but let's not get caught up in that. It's a very interesting way to have a random encounter. I'm staying out of this, thief. I mean, like, I'm just hunting some deer, dude. Literally shot one right past her ear. What is this? Oh, some more skeletons. Cool. You getting shot from behind? No idea what that was about. I gotta figure out what has lesser souls. I gotta fill the soul gems. I don't want to fill them with petty souls, because that would be a waste. Now, if only I could find a iron ore vein. Oh my goodness. Oh, happy day. Please, please be iron. Once I finally upgrade to ebony armor, I might still keep this orcish armor set, because this thing is, you know, basically is probably going to be what gets me through, like, the toughest, the most dire straits.
Yes. If that is what you wish. Lead on, then.
And considering it's gotten me through, you know, dire straits, I see no reason to just sell it and then, you know, just gonna use the money for nothing. I think that was the elk I shot. Yeah, it was. Too far lead. There we go, Shanasa. Just ran in and great. What now? Is this a bad neighborhood or something? Restoration points. I'm gonna start collecting those. I'm going to fill a room with them.
If that is what you wish.
I'm gonna have a chest that just says, hold on, how many do I have now? Have I even been collecting them? Well, I got 2. I feel like I had 3 but didn't grab one of them. Oh well. I'm sure I'll find plenty more. Actually, you should have an elven dagger and elven sword. It certainly does more damage.
Let's go.
Hard to resist an opportunity to give her more damage. I didn't think I was really sneaking there. Interesting. Good old Bethesda games. So in the span of being at my house, the last 20 minutes of playing, I had to fight a bear, a thief, and an assassin. Yeah, seems legit. What's next? Spriggan? There's gonna be a giant behind this wall? Did I even loot this? No, I did not. I'm just gonna turn them all into iron ore. Let's make that. Oh, I gotta make the silver ore, or silver ingots. I have the ore, I don't have the ingots. Good thing I didn't transmute. Need to mention this. Oh, and nails. And then probably more nails, but we'll have to see. Grindstone, staple. Let's remodel the house into the entryway. And question is what we want to have. I'm thinking could go greenhouse. That's an option. Could go enchanter tower. Definitely want to go kitchen, because I mean, what's the point of hearth fire if you can't bake sweet rolls? So definitely going with the kitchen. In fact, let's start with that. We can decide on the other stuff later. In fact, I don't think I'll even make this yet. Nice place.
Don't get too far ahead.
I'll wait on all this. Right now I need the smithing experience from all these pelts. Speaking of which, should have plenty right now. I keep overestimating when I really should take into consideration what I already have. Not that big of a deal, though. Isn't that nice, though? Wait, hold on. Come to think of it. Who needs potions of cure disease when you can just eat some hawk feathers? That was very pretty for the pictures right there. KO'd that hawk in one shot. Let's plant some blue mountain flowers. Resist magic. I like the sound of that. Nightshade. Tundra cotton. So we can have resist magic for days. That's a branch. I'll just plant one of each. Why not? The dragon's tongue. And then I forget which one I did because I didn't do it in order. So we'll figure the rest out later. Oh yes, casually eating bear claws. Not that kind of bear claw. You know what I mean. For the uninitiated, bear claw is a type of sweet confection. I think it has almonds. Either way, entirely different. Okay, we're doing this. And I think this will be the last thing we do today. Alright, Janessa. I'm still a wuss.
What?
Go over there and fight that bear. Where is the bear? Oh. Dude, your wife is lit.
That it?
Dude. Oh, wow, he actually doesn't do that much damage. Where'd the poor lady go? What? I healed you! I literally healed you! Alright. I literally healed you. Did I accidentally hit her or something at some point? Hold up, what? Janessa, Janessa, Janessa. Janessa, get out of there. Also, this music is a mess. I'll have to check the footage to see if I accidentally hit her or if she got angry at me for healing her. Well, at any rate, I hope Janessa let her live. Well, that looks like a no. Christ, Janessa. Well, you have no help to anyone.
Need something?
It's the one downside of followers. You can't tell them to, yo, lay off. Bit unrealistic, but I'm not gonna loot the body because. No, speaking of bodies, necromancer. Let's just deal with this guy. I don't want to be tiptoeing around it too much. Makes me kind of upset, but it's not like I could tell Janessa to stop. I didn't even want to fight anyway. What caused her to aggro? I literally healed her. Ugh. Oh well. Necromancers typically use frost spells, so I'm not that afraid of this guy on my Nord. Could use shock spells, but probably not. And it's just novice, so. What's he gonna do? Bleed on me? Master of the Arcane, eh? Let's file that under Delusions of Grandeur. That he's done with, though. Is that? No. Close, though. Wait, hold on. I think there were some books I picked up that I didn't actually read. I'm not sure this was a good idea, but hey. Done now. I'm gonna need way higher sneak before I even make use of that, but eventually I'm going to want, as I said, a dagger to do the heavy lifting, so to speak. 15 times the damage. All this last 30 minutes has been a complete and utter bloodbath, so I think that's a perfect time to end the episode. Just gonna enter here. Need to do quite a bit of interior decorating, but we'll get around to it. At any rate, I'm not dead yet. We'll have to see. I seem to be getting into some rather uncomfortable situations, but as is proving to be the case when I was getting hit by that bear, I'm starting to get to the point where I'm handling enemies much better. It's starting to be the case that, I mean, I have basically, hold that, I have basically half the armor rating at this point, and 300 health. So, at this point, something would have to do, I'm gonna have to do the calculations, so, something would have to do, in order to kill me, it would have to do 200 damage, over 200 damage in the base game, or on standard difficulty. Unfortunately, 3 times. It's 3 times in legendary. But anyway, yada yada. So I'm getting to the point where stuff's not really doing that much damage to me, and I'm happy about that. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed. See ya.